Alright, hello and welcome everybody back to another episode of Heroes A to Z. We have got, my name is Conman by the way, and we have got a fun one here for you today, because we are going to check out Medivh. So what's the deal with Medivh? Medivh is a ranged specialist. He is classified by the game as very hard. One of three that are very hard. We already went through the other two. We've seen Abathur. We've seen who am I thinking of here? The Vikings, of course. How can I forget the Vikings? So far 0 for 2 on those two. We're gonna see if we can do any better here, but it's not going to be likely. So what makes Medivh very hard? He's got a very unique gameplay, very unique mechanics. Also, unlike some other heroes, he does require in order to utilize Medivh to the best of his ability, to get the maximum value out of what he can do, it requires a coordinated team effort. And it's not something that you're typically going to get in a quick match environment, maybe more so if you're lucky in Hero League, specifically Team League is probably where you're gonna see him if you're playing that. Yeah, not often you're gonna get it in a quick match style environment. Just before I started recording this, I looked up on HotSlogs just to look at win rates for Medivh, and I think just global, he's at something like 38%. I mean, he's by far the lowest in the game. If you look at even Hero League, if you just look at the Masters tier in Hero League, I think he climbs up to maybe like 44% or 45%. It's still well below average, well below 50. It's not until you switch over to Team League, and then if you look at the Master level of Team League, Medivh's like 71, 72%, like significantly, like a huge jump. And it's just the way he works. I mean, you really need a coordinated team to fully take advantage of the abilities. So let's talk about those abilities, shall we? And see where they start off with. Excuse me. Start off with his trait here. It's also his mount. He doesn't get a mount. He turns into a raven. It's going to look something like this. Also, something to keep in mind in terms of raven form. Raven form takes an extra moment, maybe like an extra half second or so, for you to hop into raven form than as compared to just mounting up. If you play any other character and you're used to like the right amount of time, I toggle cooldowns. If you're used to the right amount of time when you mount up and you might start to take off, you got to be careful because you do have an extra little moment with raven form before you're actually in raven form. But what makes raven form unique? So it gives you 120% move speed, so you're faster than mounted hero, faster than heroes that are on foot, but obviously slower than mounted heroes. But you get to fly over all the things, and on top of that, you're untargetable. So I can literally fly into the enemy's Hall of Storms if I want to. I can kind of hang out in here. I can fly over here. You see, nothing is attacking me while I'm here. Now we've got Malfurion here, of course, but while I'm above these minions, if they die, I do get experience. You can soak with Medivh just kind of by being up into the air. You can pick up health globes. You can tap the well. If I go fly over to the well, I'll be able to hit the sippy cup here. So you're going to, maybe I'm not going to be able to because I got full of all the things. I got full health and mana here.
Onward.
There we go. Okay, use some mana there just to prove that I wasn't lying to you. Did tap the well while in raven form. So what is this? This is going to give your team potentially supreme vision on the map. You'll be able to fly over things. You'll be able to get vision on the team. You'll be able to see when people are coming up, and walking through. Like let's just talk. I always talk about that initial mid lane kind of skirmish that goes on in a lot of these quick match games. You as Medivh can go through and just like fly straight across the map and see if that's what they're doing and see who they've got coming your way, give your team the opportunity to adjust accordingly. Definitely makes it easy to get some soak, just kind of fly over things. You can, kind of chase down low health heroes and try to pick them off. There's a lot of utility for this, and since you can't be targeted, you can cast spells. If you cast a spell, it will instantly drop you back into your human form, on foot. Something to keep in mind: you have to be above legit terrain in order to do that. So you'll see here, like I'm flying right above this this here bush. It's impassable terrain. All of my spells are grayed out. It's not until I fly back over into terrain I can actually stand on that it will allow me to cast spells. You could just press Z, and dismount, and that'll pop you back into form. Otherwise, casting a spell will instantly do that for you. So let's take a peek at some of his other abilities and why they're interesting and why they require some coordination. So first off is Q, Arcane Rift. It's going to look something like this. It's just kind of a straight skill shot, 7-second cooldown. Here's the interesting part: if you hit your heroes, the cooldown is significantly reduced. So as you see in the tooltip, launch a rift that deals 456 damage to all enemies in its path. It'll just pass through everything. If an enemy hero is hit, reduce its cooldown by 5 whole seconds and refund 50 mana. So it looks something like this. This is significant cooldown reduction. So it kind of goes without saying, if you're going to be casting this, you're going to want to be able to hit heroes just to be able to get it, have the uptime maximized. A lot of the playstyle of Medivh is, a lot of at least the offensive playstyle, I should say, is going to revolve around being able to consistently hit this skill shot. So if you're fighting a hero, kind of 1v1 or even just skirmishing, and you miss, that's it. Like that's his offensive output. You really kind of have to back off and be careful. Your auto attack damage is kind of lackluster. So that's it for the next 7 seconds. So you want to make sure that you are consistently hitting your arcane rifts. Your next ability here is your W. It's Force of Will, 5-second cooldown. Protect an allied hero from all damage for 1.5 seconds. So you can cast. Look at the very long range on this. You do have lots and lots of range. Oops, lots and lots of range on this. It's going to look something like that. They get a protect status. You can, I'm going to toggle cooldowns just for the sake of argument here. You can self-cast it. Little Alt-W action going on to protect yourself. This will protect you from all damage. Whether it be just a lot of small stuff, or, you've got like a Pyroblast coming at you, or some big skill shot, Nova decides to triple tap you, or Precision Strike, or whatever it may be. So a lot of the playstyle here is going to revolve around, keeping yourself protected, but also keeping your teammates protected. Like, okay, I'm going to go like this. I guess Malf didn't need it there because he wanted to use Twilight Dream, but if this was a warrior that was jumping in to engage, I can cast Protect on them to keep, mitigate some damage. Melee assassins can use this. I mean, anyone in trouble, this will be helpful for. And it's got a 5-second cooldown, so you can be fairly liberal about it. Obviously, if there's a big skill that you want to avoid, you might want to save it. But with a 5-second cooldown, you do have the opportunity to be fairly liberal using this ability. And this is going to be a big damage reduction. You're going to get a healing/shielding number over here on your score screen based on this. Lastly, and here's the fun one, it's Portal. Portal, create a set of portals between Medivh and the target location, allowing allies to teleport between them. So, see, you got 2 circles here. So the small circle is the closest that you can place this, and then this is the kind of the furthest that this will be. So the initial portal, the entry portal, will be centered on yourself. So it looks like that. And then you can actually right click on this to travel back and forth as long as the portal is up. So again, you have to imagine the center, like the entry portal will be right here, and you're actually placing, what you're placing is the exit portal. And it can be pretty far. I mean, this is a pretty far range. Like, I don't think you can be interrupted. I mean, I imagine you could be interrupted out of that cast. I'm sure you can, but it's a very quick cast, so it'd be difficult to do. You can do fun stuff, because obviously you can do sneaky stuff like this and travel over terrain. Maybe do one of these. There's no fort there anymore, so I guess that doesn't matter. Pick somebody off, then I can fly back. So potentially I poured it in, fired off an Arcane Rift. Maybe I finished somebody off, or I did some damage. Cast Force of Will on myself, so I didn't even take any damage during that whole encounter. And you come back in. This is one of the reasons that Medivh is tricky to use. It does require, I think, a fairly high amount of mechanical ability in order to play this. You want to hit all the things at the right times to maximize this. This is also why it's difficult to play games with him in quick matches, because it's not a coordinated environment, so you don't necessarily know when your Medivh is going to be throwing portals down. I think I see a lot of times where I play him infrequently in quick match games, but I do play him. I'll see a lot of times where I've got a hero who is in some trouble. Let's say he's coming down here being chased. I'll throw down a portal to try to save him, and this hero doesn't realize either what the portal is, or he doesn't realize there's going to be a portal coming, because there's really not any way to communicate that, and he just keeps on running past the portal entrance and ultimately gets himself killed, or gets stunned or gets chased, and then I have got to bail out. So it's tough to use it to its full potential. I mean, just think about why this could be good in a team environment. If you're playing a team environment, if you're grouped up, you could in theory just go like this, and all 5 team members, because your team can use these portals, so all 5 team members can pop through, maybe get the jump on somebody, do some damage to this here fort, and then you just create another portal and you come back out. It's very, very scary. It opens up a lot of opportunities. Portal can be used offensively. I mean, you can use it to chase down people and close the gap on things. It can be used defensively. I tend to use it more defensively. I'm not the best Medivh player in the world at all. You can use it defensively, where you kind of jump in, do some damage to the enemy team, and then as soon as they start to follow up and come back, you throw a portal and you kind of port to safety. And then in that time, maybe you can kind of like just hop in Raven form, and by the time they close that gap, you can't be targeted any longer. So that's what makes Medivh challenging. Let's take a peek at his ults, and then we'll go through just some of the talents. Even his ults are kind of interesting as well.
Choose a talent.
His first one is Polybomb. It's gonna look something like this. Short cooldown, 40 seconds, short range. So what it does is, you can't really see it here in try mode because we only have the target dummy in Arthas. But you see this circle around the Polybomb? This lasts for, I think, 2 seconds? Yeah, 2 seconds. It silences the enemy for 2 seconds, so they can't attack. They can't cast spells. They can move, but they can't cast spells. If there is an enemy team member, within this circle when this expires, then the Polybomb will be transferred to them. And it could, as long as the 2 team members stay within range of each other, they could potentially poly each other back and forth indefinitely, like just forever. So what Polybomb does, it's going, obviously it's a silence, it's something to use to kind of interrupt things, kind of put the lockdown on a high value target for whatever reason. It's very good at causing the enemy team to separate, to split, because they have to either separate and break the chain, or be forced to just be continually polyed. And that could force him to get out of position. Really good coordinated teams will kind of understand what this does, and they will they're usually pretty quick about polying. But if you get the enemy team like in a closed environment, like within a choke point or even on an objective, they will have to at the very least spread out and kind of separate themselves a little bit and put themselves in the potential to get picked off. So alternatively,
choose a talent.
We have Leyline Seal. Leyline Seal is it's a stasis. If you've seen Zeratul Void Prison, it's gonna look something like that. It's in a similar fashion. It's got a crazy long range. Let me look at the range on that. That is ridiculous. But it goes like this. It shoots this wave out. As it hits somebody, it stasises them. And then, so here's the thing about that. You can't cancel it. So it puts them in time stop for 3 seconds. Yes. So the interesting thing about that is, it starts the cooldown for the enemy stasis when it hits them. So let's just say I'm going to walk up right here. I'm going to use Leyline Seal. This guy's stasis. This is still going. So you're going to, the enemies, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit Arthas from all the way over here, but if I did hit somebody at the tail end of this hero here is going to come out of stasis before this hero is. Like, let's see if I can do that. Okay, there we go. Hits Arthas. This guy's out. Arthas is still in stasis. You see, so it's going to stagger. It's going to stagger the timers, and that can be very valuable if you kind of jump on the guy who's going to come out of it first before the rest of his team, is free. You can use this defensively, just kind of throw Leyline Seal down and get out of dodge where everyone's frozen. You can use it in an offensive manner. If you freeze 1 or 2 high priority targets, your team can get get in position and get the jump on them as soon as they come out. This is used for a lot of those sneaky boss steals that you might see in the YouTubes over there. They're a little bit hard to pull off because if I recall correctly, while the enemy team is stasis, you're able to capture points on them. So it doesn't do any damage. It has a longer cooldown. Polybomb's 40 seconds. This is 80 seconds. So this is it's a much longer cooldown. You got to play it by ear. This is another ult that's going to require a lot of coordination. So, sorry about that. That's going to take, you know, more coordination on your team. So it just makes it tough. It makes it difficult to play Medivh to his full potential. But that being said, we're going to do what we can. Let's take a peek at some of the solid talents that I like to choose when we play him. So first off, at level 1, you do have Stable Portal. I like Stable Portal a lot. Increases the duration by 50%. I do like that because it allows that portal to be up longer, and that's a big deal. You can kind of jump back and forth, which is pretty sweet. At level 4, so you got a couple choices here. You've got Bird's Eye View. Permanently increase Raven Form's vision range by 25% and activate for a huge vision increase. So let's take that. We'll see what it looks like here. So this is already, if you've been paying attention, I've got a bigger range increase. It's not huge, but it is more. But I can toggle this ability and go like this and get this huge radius, sight radius. You know, if I was, you know, I could basically do something like this and fly over, you know, the enemy fort and toggle this and just get crazy good vision. Use this when flying into an objective just to see where the enemy is hiding. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't reveal. This will not reveal. So if you have any stealthers, it's not going to reveal them. I mean, you'll still see the shimmer. You know, it'll reveal the shimmer of them if they're around, but it's not going to pop them. What can pop them, if you are facing those stealthers, is something like Dust of Appearance. Let's reset. Let's use Dust of Appearance.
Choose a talent.
45-second cooldown. It goes like this. Now this doesn't really. You see, it gives vision. It reveals them. So if there were any stealthers here, this would pop them. So that might be something that you want to take if you're facing. If you have, you know, enemy team's got a bunch of stealthers on them. At level 7, I almost always go Master's Touch. Hit 30 enemy heroes with Arcane Rift without dying. This is a very high risk reward. So you need to stack this 30 times. If you get killed before you stack it, you just wasted it. Like, that's it. It doesn't give you any value whatsoever. However, if you are able to pull this off, you can be a little more aggressive after it because it keeps the stacks. Once you hit the 30, you won't get killed. As you can see by the reward, you can permanently increase the damage dealt by 75, which is pretty big, and reduces the cooldown by 1. Increases the cooldown reduction, I should say, by 1 second when hitting a hero. So let's take this. We'll complete quests. We'll see what it looks like. Basically, you're gonna have a 1 second cooldown on this if you're hitting enemy heroes. It makes it crazy good. You can really get a lot of damage out of this very quickly just by spamming this out. So very high risk reward talent. If you can play it correctly and not get yourself picked off, it's pretty sweet. So at 13, I also like Quickening. Reduces the portal cooldown by 50%. When you synergize this with your stable portal at level 1, you gives you the opportunity to pretty much always have a portal up whenever you're going to need it. Either it's going to be up or it's going to be available to you to cast right away. So it's pretty sweet. Let's pick that. Yeah, go back here.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
It's going to look something like this. So I've got a cooldown reduction. Now this is the extra long portal time. So you see it matches the portal time. So once the portal runs out, it's going to be available to cast again, and that can be very valuable. You know, some people do like astral projection, which increases the portal cast range. So you can get, I think, if I remember correctly, if you're on Brax's holdout and you take astral projection, you can actually portal back and forth between the 2 capture points using that. So that could be something to keep in mind, and that can make for very quick rotations. Definitely can surprise people. When we get into the game, if we do get Braxis, I might take that just to try it and see what we can do. At 16, reabsorption is very, very strong. Upon expiration, Force of Will heals the target for 50% of the damage it absorbed. So if you've got like a warrior, you know, diving in, basically if you've got somebody diving in on the enemy team and they're taking damage, you hit them with Force of Will. Not only does it block the damage, but then it gets a heal on top of that, and that's a big swing in the turn of a battle. Alternatively, Circle of Protection is also pretty solid. An untalented Force of Will is applied to allies near the target. It's just like an AoE. It's gonna look something like this. Oops, I should probably take it so I can show it.
Choose a talent.
There you go. So now you got, I self-cast this here. It's very short range. But it protects the entire team, which can be very, very strong. Its real downside is that it's got such a short range. It does require your team to be fairly tightly spaced in order to actually pull it off. Level 20, we got a couple of good choices. We've got Leyline Seal, we've got the Medivh cheats, increases the duration of time stop by 33%, and you gain the ability to redirect it once. It's gonna look something like that.
My destiny.
So you just basically you hit while it's in flight.
I still of my soul.
I always screw that up, but yeah, there we go.
A great shadow.
See, I can send it back here. Hopefully you got a good swing of that. That's a pretty solid one if people are moving out of the way of Leyline Seal. Guardians of Tearsfall, if you're really facing a lot of map pressure from the enemy team, this can be interesting at level 20. Minions and catapults hit by Arcane Rift are instantly killed. You can really de-push a wave very, very quickly with this. So it's pretty, it can be an interesting choice. I like also, it's kind of sneaky, and again, this is something else that's going to require a lot of coordination. Invisibility. Stealth an allied hero for 20 seconds. So you can use it defensively. If somebody's running away, you can hit him with the invisibility and the enemy team won't be able to target them. You can use it offensively. Imagine a stealth butcher just popping out of nowhere and being able to wreak havoc on the backline of an enemy team. So it's a couple of things that you can consider using invisibility. I do like it. It's again one of those things that requires a lot of coordination to get to its full potential. So depending on what type of game mode you're playing, it might not work out too well. When I play Quickmatch, I normally don't take invisibility unless I'm playing with some friends, because there's a good chance that they're not going to use it the right way. Arcane Brilliance is interesting too. Activate to instantly restore 200 mana to all nearby allied heroes and grant them 10% spell power. So this one kind of works out a little bit better in like a Quickmatch style environment. Let's hop into the game because we've already wasted quite a lot of time here, kind of going through Medivh. See what we can do. What do you have to watch out for? He's, even though he's got a support style kind of thing with Force of Will, you're still going to need a dedicated healer. You do need a real support with him. What you have to watch out for, you need to watch out for people who can dive on you. You do have the portal, but it doesn't have an infinite range. So I mean, Lunara, if she poisons you, even if you portal, it's still going to tick. Anubrek can dive and tunnel in on you. Tracer, for example, can kind of teleport and get in on your portal. So you got to watch out. Sylvanas, I believe, should be able to like Haunting Wave and kind of port back to you. So anybody who's able to get in on you, especially if you miss your, anybody who can like juke your Arcane Rift too, because especially if you missed your Arcane Rift, you basically have no damage potential, and then you're forced to either get support from your team or bail out. So it's tough. You can be very slippery with Force of Will and your portals, but you do have to watch. You have to be aware of enemies who can dive in on you. So we've got let's see, we got Sonya, Illidan, Azmodan, and Sylvanas. I think that is. Illidan's a very good choice for Force of Will because he'll be diving in on stuff. Between Azmodan and Sylvanas, we'll have lots and lots of push. We're on Battlefield of Eternity, so if we do win the objective, that will be pretty sweet. I don't know how we're gonna do. Medivh isn't so great in terms of burning down the Immortal because he only gets to cast a spell every 10 seconds. The enemy team, we do have a Stealther, we have a Tyrande, an Abathur, excuse me, and a Val. So they've got lots of damage potentially. Not so much on a front line. We do have a beefier front line. Looks like the Quickmatch gods favored us, at least in that regard. And between Abathur and Nova, they are going to have a very weak lane presence. Vala and Zul do have some decent wave clear, but it's a 2-lane map, which does help them out a little bit. But they're definitely going to be lacking in kind of the lane presence department. So I may end up taking Dust of Clarity, whatever the heck it's called. Dust of Appearance. I don't know why I didn't remember that. Probably we'll take that just because of the Nova.
You have my guidance.
Let's start off on the bottom. Also, I kind of dig that Asmodan skin. If the Asmodunk skin wasn't so damn awesome, I would probably use something like that. The Asgul'dan.
Cycles remaining.
Also, you see, you can't fly out of the end of the base until the timer starts. They're saying 4 and 1. That's a solid plan. I don't know where the 4 is gonna go. I guess I'm just gonna fly for now. Sonya's a good solo laner. We'll have some push up here in the top. So there is the Vala. We've got Zul, enemy Zul on the bottom. And there is a fake Nova. That's a fake Nova. There you go. See, there you go. I missed my spell, so now I've just kind of got to, you know, be careful for a couple of seconds.
Away with you.
Missed it again, which is silly, because that probably would have been a good kill.
I will deal with you myself. Fate.
Oh, that was...
Your time grows short.
That was unfortunate. Did not see the Nova there in time to pick her off and reveal her before Illidan got killed. Yeah, so Nova's going to be troublesome. I'm definitely going to use Dust of Appearance.
Our conflict shall rage on shortly.
This will be interesting. Sonya can do pretty well with the damage. We're going to have a hard time burning this down, especially with the Vala on the enemy team. Like, they definitely have a better racing team when it comes to the Immortal. And here is Zul.
As the shadows shift.
Yeah. We kept pace. We kept a little bit of a pace. Illidan does a fairly good job.
Away with you. For the sake of our future.
There's a kill.
Even now, it seems death.
There's another kill.
Triple germination.
I think that Nova was AFK. Unfortunately, we didn't win it, but we did get a bunch of kills, so I'm not completely upset about that.
Select talent.
Let's take Dust of Appearance. Also, what I'm going to keep a lookout for is Abathur Locusts, because if I see Abathur, I can fly over the terrain and maybe pick him off. I'm going to come in here.
A fine blow. Angel's not dead yet. Enemy slain. Efficient hunter.
Here we go. Now we're going to have lots of push. There is a revealed Nova. I'm just going to trail her for a little while. Unfortunately, I prematurely used my Dust of Appearance.
Fort eliminated. Hero abandoned battle. Unclear.
Ah, my Force of Will was not up. It just missed the cooldown. Illidan really needed to bail out just a bit sooner than that. I'm going to Hearth right now because I have a lack of mana. I am going to take Master's Touch. I've had no problems hitting most of my targets so far. You know, I do have to worry with Nova about getting picked off. I do have to be careful about it. But so far, we're doing okay. We've got about quarter of a level lead, so it's pretty tight. As Vidan warns about the danger, let's see what's floating around over here. Do I see anybody stealth? Ah. He was there. He did just get away.
The burning hell shall reign over all.
I don't see Nova. There we go. Here is that. There's the kill.
The winds of change are howling. I did what happened.
Have a portal. Just barely got that one. That was good.
Slain.
Oops.
It's time to act.
I'm going to get some vision on the enemy team. Their Nova is back. Here she is right there. Hello, Nova. Missed that, and that was bad.
Slain. You are entirely worthless.
I do have to be careful. I am low on the mana.
You will not stand in my way. My destiny awaits. Away with you.
Nova got a kill on
I see.
our Sylvanas. Yeah, they're going to get this again. That's still not the worst thing in the world. I've got 13 stacks on my quest. Alright, I'm going to follow Sonya up here. Now, we do have to be careful. They have 10. They did beat us to 10 because of the kills. We're fairly close. Alright, now see, there's Abathur. There's Abby's Locust. Let's see where it's coming from. Is it coming from up here? Oh, hello, sir.
It is time to act. Onward.
Just barely got away. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the kill on Abathur. We're gonna go Leyline Seal. The downside of that quest at level 7 is that you kind of, especially when you're like halfway through the stacks here, unless you're really good, you do have to kind of play a little passively until you rank it up. Once you get it, you can kind of go ham just a little bit and be extra aggressive, but before then, you have to be careful because you will lose your stacks, which is kind of a downside. Let's see if I can go help out Illidan. He looks like he's okay. Alright. Abathur has since bailed out. I don't see any locusts right now.
Lost.
Missed that because that was silly. Now I got rooted. Fortunately, I was able to get into the portal before that actually hit. See, that's what you gotta be careful for. There was Nova. That was close.
Dominated.
I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. Was she in Shadowstock? I think that's what that happened. What that was. Yep, that must have been what it was. That she got me from stealth. I was out of cooldowns there, and that was unfortunate. Now I'm in trouble because that was 17, 18 stacks of that. That really kind of put me at a disadvantage. They're also they're also 1 level up. Well, we're about to hit 12, but they already have 13. Here we go. Let's see, reveal Nova. Oof. Yeah, I got killed again. Picked off there, Tyrande, though. We're a little spread out at this point, unfortunately. Our Sylvanas is doing her best to try and take down this Immortal. She's going to have to be careful for Nova, however. And we are going to lose the Immortal race again. Yeah. Oh, she's dead. That was not a good Haunting Wave. Yep. Alright, we're at the stage of the game. We haven't lost it yet. They're probably going to take this fort, which is going to be unfortunate.
Select talent.
Asmo is going to clean this out. Okay. He could do a better job of that than I can. I'm going to come up here. Just give some support. I'm gonna see if I can pop Nova. She's around here-ish. Yep, this is a very bad place for us. We are 3 levels down. Very good. Okay, so that's solid. Nova's still around. And there she is. I'm going to chase her around a bit. Hello, friend.
Of course.
That is the fake Nova. I missed the real Nova. Oh, ho, ho, I see what you're doing there. Alright, so there, where's Abathur? Where is Abathur? Is he floating around here?
Hero returns.
There is Abba.
I shall land shortly, and I expect your will.
And we're gonna get him. Ah, he just got away. That was close.
Shall know the taste of fear.
Fate waits for none of us.
He's gonna get killed. I'm not gonna have Force of Will up in time.
Death
Oh, I saved the Illidan. He might die anyway. He does die anyway. Oh, that's too bad. Well, this stage in the game, we're fairly boned. We're fairly boned. They're going to get a damn near full immortal off this. We've already lost a keep. We're going to lose the other keep. There's a solid chance we lose the other keep. They've got a 2 level lead, just about a 2 level lead. They're going to get 20 way before we do. Abathur just got killed, so that was pretty freaking sweet.
Has not yet reached its conclusion.
I appreciate that. Nova's up here somewhere. Sylvanas is going to get killed. Yep. I'm going to see if I can catch up to Nova and pick her off. But I don't know if I'm going to be so lucky. She is not over here. So Nova got away. That Sylvanas really should have bailed out. I mean, there was no reason for that 1v1. Here's the full Immortal. The Immortal is going to go bottom. We are just going to be in for a world of hurt. Here, we'll do one of these. This is not looking out to be such a good game. I think I've played an okay Medivh. I've gotten picked off, which really hurt me. That was really put us in a tough spot. Now all I'm doing here is, if they're gonna run away, then I am going to try to use that to my advantage. I saw a Locust. I don't know where the Abathur is. Let's just come back. We're gonna lose the core. Hello. Oh, I couldn't get in the portal. Yeah, we're dead. Yeah, it was a tough game. We didn't play it very well. Oh, there's Abathur. What a jerk. I don't think that Nova was a very good Nova. I don't. I think she really was just... I think she really just put herself out too often. I think our team... I don't even know who to vote for. I'm going to give it to Zul. So what do I think went wrong there? They had lots of damage. I think we stuck around to take pot shots at the enemy team way too much. There were way too many situations there. Way too many situations there where I thought, like, we need to back off. Like, we need to just back off. And instead we sat there, like, that Sonya continually would just go in there and try to, like, 1v3 the enemy team. And yeah, you do have some protection with Force of Will. The team thankfully took some of the portals that I threw out there, which was nice. You know, I got myself picked off, which that one really hurt, because that means I wasn't able to stack up my quest. Maybe I should have voted for Asmo instead. You know, we went in there, like, that Sylvanas died 9 times. Like, that's just, you know, it was not good. That 1v1 versus Sonya, or versus Nova rather, like, she was gonna die. Like, she already had a quarter of her health. Like, she was not going to win that fight. Like, there's no point to continue that. Just bail out at that point, that stage in the game. She didn't have enough support near her. Like, I was flying over there, but I wasn't gonna get there in time. Sonya wasn't gonna get there in time. There was just no point to it. I missed picking off the Abathur like 3 times, which really bugged me because we were so close. Actually, trying to pick off that Abathur that one time is what ultimately ended up getting me killed by Tyrande. I think we made mistakes in trying to race them, potentially, on the Immortal. Between Tyrande and Vala, they just had a better Immortal burning team than we did. you know, our Sylvanas wasn't good. I mean, that's just what it comes. Oh, these guys were a 3-stack. That's right. Yeah, our Sylvanas wasn't very good, unfortunately. It's what it was. You know, it wasn't the worst game for Medivh. Once I got picked off, then I kind of stopped playing less passively, just because I was trying to do some more damage. You know, my hero damage was lackluster. Not a great game. You know, that we just got out. This was a game where we just got beat. Like, there wasn't any particular reason. The strategy was okay. You know, we came close in the first 2 Immortals. The team comps were a little weird. The team comps were definitely a little weird. The enemy team played better than our team, is just fact of the matter there. Like, it's not shit talk or anything like that. We just got beat. Anyhow, so that's Medivh in a nutshell. You know, you can see what you're able to do. I hope you get the idea of what could be done if your team is more coordinated. You know, there were definitely some times where I would throw out Force of Will to kind of save somebody, and then we'd still just continue to stick around too long. Like, come on, man, like, back off. Like, you're gonna die. Like, it's a lot of these deaths were not necessary at the end. Could and should have been prevented. Let's take a peek at the talents. Level 1, Stable Portal, increases portal duration. Level 4, I went Dust of Appearance to try and pop the Nova. So that's where I was going with that. Otherwise, I would have taken the Raven's Clarity. What is it? Bird's Eye View. Bird's Eye View. Level 7, Master's Touch. This is one of those ones. This is the one that said, yeah, it's if I could have completed the quest, it could have made a significant difference. Unfortunately, I got myself killed. That was a good pick by Tyrande too. Like, props to her. That was a very solid move. I think it was like 17 stacks in, and then I got nailed. And after that, it was kind of downhill. Leyline Seal. I don't know. Whenever I play Medivh, the ults are always a toss-up for me. Polybomb might have been useful. I'm fine with Leyline Seal. It just, we didn't have the coordination. I mean, I think I Leyline Sealed the one player before, and then Sonya like tried to dive onto her, which, you know, it could have just been they didn't realize what was going on. It could have just been poor timing. You know, it's one of those things. Like, it's tough. Level 10, it was Quickening, reduces portal cooldown. 13 or 16, let's try that again. 13 was Quickening, 16 was Reabsorption. Upon expiration, Force of Will heals the target for 50% of the damage it absorbs. Had we gotten to 20, given the state of the game, I probably would have not taken Invisibility. There's a solid chance I would have taken, I forget the name now, I was just looking at it before, the ability to kill minions in one shot, just because if we had gotten to 20, we were already so far behind structurally, in terms of map pressure. That spell could have been potentially very valuable if we had gotten that far. It's a tough game. The comps were weird. You know, they had a lot of damage. We didn't get the chance. We weren't able to capitalize. You know, I was hoping that Illidan would have been able to dive in on the Vala or something like that. And it's tough. You know, Tyrande can get the stuns in, and then you're in some trouble. So it's what it is. That's Medivh. 0 for 3 for the very hard specialist. We'll go figure. It's a tough one to play against, or play as. Anyhow, my name is Conman. Let me know what you thought. You know, give me the like, the thumbs up, all that fun stuff. And thanks for watching. I hope to see you soon.